house swapping, hot drunk Englishmen, personal movie trailers, and Mr. Napkin Head. That's right, we are watching the 2006 rom-com The Holiday with Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz, Jude Law, and Jack Black.
Welcome to the Rom-Com Rescue Podcast, a brand new podcast where we bring the love and life lessons from your favorite rom-coms. I'm Kira Sabin. I'm a healthy dating educator, a certified coach, and a positive psychology practitioner. But more importantly, I spend my days teaching the skills and mindsets of dating.
And I'm Dr. Isabel Morley. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and an EFT certified couples therapist. And I help couples have the happiest, healthiest relationship possible. Join us weekly as we break down the best love lessons from your favorite rom-coms so we can all get into the best relationships possible. Because we believe that we create our own happily ever afters.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to Rom-Com Rescue. We are in holiday mode. So the rest of the year, we will be bringing you wonderful and cheesy holiday movies. And we are going to start with a classic, and not only classic, this is Isabel's favorite rom-com of all time.
Yes,
The Holiday.
We're starting strong.
It's a classic. It really, really is. So I would say, I know we got some questions here and some things we want to ask each other about this movie first. So let's do that. But let's get into it because this movie, it's beloved. It's beloved.
It is, and as it should be. This is, let me just give a fair warning. This is going to be a crazy, stupid love situation where I don't think I can say a bad thing about this movie except for the fact that clearly she did not pack all of her clothes in that one suitcase. She had a lot of big jackets and outfit changes. That's the only flaw that I'm willing to see in this film.
Okay.
I know. I'm just going to set the tone.
Everybody's going to be really excited because I can sometimes bring the boom down, bring the doom boom. But I love this movie too. I hadn't seen it in a few years, but I've seen it 1,000 times. To me, it's like one of those movies that during the time of cable would be on all the time, or especially during the holidays. So I've just seen it so many times. But I hadn't seen it in a couple of years, so I actually got up and watched it this morning and took notes so that it was super fresh. But I freaking loved it. Like, it's such a good cast.
Oh my God,
it's
amazing.
Charming. It's Nancy Meyers at her best. I love Nancy Meyers movies. And it's just so adorable. It really is.
It really is, and it's real. It's not any of the over-the-top crazy stuff we saw in a lot of those early 2000 rom-coms where there's a big bet that they have to figure out and settle, or tons of deceit, or all of that stuff. Like, it just felt real.
I agree with you, and I will tell you, for a movie now that is almost 20 years old, it really held up pretty well for me. I watch sometimes TV shows now in 2010, and I was like, that's not okay now. Hey, everybody, it's Kira. As much as we love the cozy charm and romance of The Holiday, I wanted to pause the podcast and address that we can't ignore its glaring lack of diversity. Stories like these shape our cultural understanding of love and relationships and belonging, yet they frequently fall short of representing the rich diversity of the world we live in. I just want everyone to know on this podcast, we believe love stories should reflect all kinds of love, people, and experiences. And while we dive into what works and what doesn't in The Holiday, we just want to take a moment to acknowledge its shortcomings and representation. And to challenge Hollywood and the movie industry to do better. Inclusivity matters, not just because it's right, but because it makes for richer and more meaningful storytelling.
And it hit all the nostalgic points for me, like them browsing in a Blockbuster to pick out a movie, all of that stuff, being on an actual a real phone and not just texting back and forth. I don't know. The internet, the early internet, it was just
different times, right? Different time. That she had some early Blackberry before even the iPhone was out.
Existed.
I know, getting messages from shitty Jasper.
even with Jasper. Also,
Can't.
did this movie invent Airbnb? This is the OG Airbnb.
Actually, as we get into trivia, the house swapping site that they use is real. And in fact, they got such a huge
Influx.
after this movie came out that I'm going to save it, but actually England had to come out and say something. They were having such an influx of people wanting to swap houses.
Oh my God.
Listen,
Love that.
Americans love a good rom-com story, right? They
Yeah,
want to
we
live
do.
it out. And I'll tell you, I saw this in the theater in 2006. I was 100% single, and I was hook, line, and sinker, particularly for the amazingness that is Jude Law in this movie. I now
Yeah.
know that growing up is realizing Miles is the better catch here, although
Jude Law's still a good catch.
he
He's
is
just-
still a good catch. But he is, oh,
I know.
chef's kiss in this movie.
I know. His little
Handsome,
looks.
charming. Oh, his little
I know.
looking and then smiling.
Here,
And,
I
oh my
know.
gosh. Oh my
He's
goodness
crying,
gracious.
everything. Okay,
I
but
know.
before we get into it, I have to ask.
Yes.
I
Yes,
have
please.
two very important questions. I'm going to start with the house one.
Okay.
You're doing a house swap. Do you go mansion in LA or lovely English cottage?
It feels like such a controversial question. Not at all. I'm joking. But at this time of the year, usually I would pick England. I would pick a cottage in England because that would feel really different. I lived in LA for a while. That doesn't feel that exciting to me. But right
Yeah.
now, due to the fact that it is crappy ass outside and has been for days, I very well might
LA.
pick that LA with the pool. And just that house.
pool.
Nancy Meyers is known for house porn. Like that house from...
It's the windows that close automatically and black out in the light.
Oh,
My
I
sister has
literally-
that. Apparently it's real. Yeah.
Oh, it's real. But that to me is like bedroom porn. When I saw that bed and like the shades going down, I was like, this is the good life,
Kira,
right? This is
no one else thinks bedroom porn. No one else
they
is going to hear
don't?
that phrase, bedroom porn, and think it means blackout curtain.
Probably.
Right.
Probably. But
But
to
for
me,
you-
I was like, isn't this amazing? I was like, oh my God, that bed looks so comfortable. And then the shades go. I'm not
Oh,
a
yeah.
good sleeper. So that's like my dream scenario. I would sleep in like the black of night every night. I used to sleep in a cabin on cruise ships. And people are like, didn't you miss windows? And I'm like, no, I sleep best when it's just dead black.
Oh, that makes sense for you then. I could see how that would have
Yeah.
been good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bedroom porn. Probably not the same bedroom porn as everybody else has. But hey.
Rebranding it.
But Nancy Meyers is known for a house porn, or just like all of the houses for all of her movies are fantastic. And the house from It's Complicated, that's like my dream house.
Oh my
Dream
God.
house.
And it's like a central part of it. So yeah, it does
Right,
feel like they really
absolutely. It's like a
elevated that
character,
house.
right?
Yeah.
They actually, the cottage they rebuilt on a soundstage. Yeah,
What?
really. So that's the outside of a cottage, but the inside is actually, they spent $1 million rebuilding it. Little bit of
Shut
yeah.
And no one can even live there because it's set up.
Yeah. It's not real.
What? Not that we're walking down this path today, but what a waste of resources.
Truth,
People
right?
need a
Why
place
would
to
you
live.
build a real cottage that people
Right?
could then rent out as Airbnbs and they could make like money
Right?
off of it, right?
Get to charity, something.
Yes, exactly. You're 100% right. But oh my gosh, both houses, all the houses are beautiful.
Jude
Beautiful,
Law's
beautiful.
house. Not that we saw a lot of it, but yeah.
And in fact, trivia fact, Cameron Diaz said this was her most physical movie because she had to run so much, particularly in heels.
Yeah.
So I
she
thought
did.
that was pretty funny. But would you, if you were traveling internationally, for literally, she's had to travel from LA easily 10 plus hours. Easily.
Oh my.
Would you be wearing high heels through the airport into small town cottagey England? Is that what you would do?
No, and honestly, this reflects a lack of judgment. I'm concerned about this choice.
I thought the only bad choice she made was not bringing
Heels.
enough luggage, but also her heels. Okay.
Unless that's a Mary Poppins bag, Kira. Okay, I'm just saying
It's
it
true.
doesn't add.
It's
Those
true.
She wore a new jacket every day.
Agreed.
No, who would wear heels? That was a crazy person's choice. Does she not realize that winter happens? I know she's
And
from LA, but like, come on.
I know. It's supposed to be kind of like that fish out of water. Her struggling
Yeah.
in the snow in her high heels, dragging her luggage. I get it. But yeah, I'm always irritated by just even things where action movies where women are expected to run in these crazy high heels. And I'm like, that's not real. I have traveled a lot in my life, and I can tell you,
Never seen
I've
it.
never worn high heels. It's a rarity to see, especially now. But more importantly, I usually travel in like Birkenstocks or like back then in
Oh, yeah,
2006, that's what I
sneakers.
would have. Yeah, sneakers,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
already tall,
absolutely.
too. I almost never wear heels. Then I tower over everyone more than I already do, so I don't.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9", not crazy tall. 5'9", but enough that.
Everybody, this is the first time I'm learning about this. It's very interesting meeting people online and then meeting them in real life because one of the things that really throws you off are people's heights, right?
Shortest in my family, 5'9".
Really?
I know.
Eccles bringing the giants. Wow.
I know. Shortest.
Wow.
Didn't go to an Ivy League school. I'm really bottom of the barrel right here.
Black sheep, everybody.
I know.
Did you hear that?
That's right.
Did not go Ivy League. Different lives, my friend. Different
stuff.
lives.
Okay, I'm going to ask one more thing just because we have an animal welfare check on our podcast
Right.
every so often.
Right.
Would you swap houses with someone and leave your dog there with that stranger for them to take care of? Because we do see Iris make that choice, and it was a surprise to me.
And they don't acknowledge it. So I don't know if that was smart or not, but just all of a sudden there's a dog. And there was no conversation like, hey, and can you look after,
dog,
feed,
miss
take
him
him
out.
out while you're here for 2 weeks? I feel like a good portion of pet owners in America maybe cringed at that moment because I did.
Yeah.
We're going to be gone for
Your
one night in
baby.
December. And we're like, who's going to stay with our pets? It's got to be someone we
Yes.
trust. And we've used her
Yes.
over before. But heck yeah, I would not be leaving our beloved animals that are like our children with some random person that I really don't know, truthfully. And I realized that they were both just really in a moment where they wanted to get away. But dang, yeah, that
I
felt
know.
cold, Nancy. That felt cold.
Totally unnecessary.
Yeah. I want to ask you, the therapist, what did you think of Amanda not being able to cry for the majority of the movie? I meet people all the time who can't cry.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that?
I loved it because, yeah, there's a lot of people who can't cry. They just stopped crying in their childhood for all sorts of reasons, and then they don't get that cathartic release whenever they're feeling sad or just a lot of feelings. And I like that they made it Amanda because so often we attribute not crying with men,
Right.
right? And it's like a masculine trait or skill or something, but it's not. People get blocked from their emotions all the time, and then it's hard. It's hard for them. It's hard for the people who are with them, as we witnessed, right? When she breaks up with her boyfriend and he's distraught by the fact that she can't cry. Because that's how we gauge people's emotional investment in us sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. Ed Burns is pretty funny and great in this. I just think he's fun and great, period. And has done plenty of rom-coms. I don't know if I have anything more to say about it besides... Besides, I
Good.
just enjoyed her or enjoyed that he was the expert. Yeah, he was a total jerk. But but him pointing out that she couldn't cry or that's not a normal response felt really assholey, honestly. It felt like he was the one making a mistake. He was the one being a dick. And I'm not saying there's not two sides to most stories, but him then turning around and being, look at, you're not even crying. That's a dick move.
Yeah. His delivery, not okay. Especially that moment when he had just broken up because he cheated on her.
Right.
I think what he's pointing to, though, could be said in a kind way, which is you're pretty emotionally withdrawn and unavailable, and I feel like I can't access a real connection with you because your feelings are so far away, which probably contributed to him cheating, right? We could guess that's part of it, but when you weaponize it like that, it's not going to lead to any kind of interesting conversation or connection. There's no curiosity. It's poor form, Ed.
dating somebody who is emotionally unavailable or not able to access their feelings or access how they're feeling about you and express, that is a very real thing. But what you just said is there's 1,000 ways to talk to people about that. It doesn't have to do with you cheating and then weaponizing it while you're breaking up and you're like in your underwear on the front lawn.
It's your fault.
That's the emotional unavailability and people being scared or avoidant or just scared to really let down their wall and let people see them and be vulnerable. All of these things are very real. But there are ways to talk through it with people that are not, I cheated with a 24-year-old receptionist. But really, it's your fault because you're cold and are not good at sex.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
That's a whole thing. That's what PTSD is when she has to tell her new person, I don't think I'm good at sex.
Good at it? I know. First of all, I was like, I bet it's not true. Second of all, don't tell him that.
But I think those moments were a little bit good because they did create a vulnerability that she was really struggling with accessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
her own inadequacy and her self-esteem.
Get into some of just the love lessons, the good love lessons, the bad love lessons. We're going to lump them all together, everybody, and we'll make sure you know which is which. But there's both. I think there was a ton of great love lessons in this, but then we do see some bad behavior, like what we just talked about for Ed and some other things. What are some of the love lessons that stood out to you?
Okay, I feel like I can't enter this conversation unless we talk about this first.
Okay.
Jasper is a dick.
Worst.
I cannot. Every time I watch this, I get angrier. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. He's having his cake and eating it too. He's basically cheated on Iris with another co-worker, not taking any responsibility, continued to breadcrumb her and lead her on so he can take advantage of her editing skills and her friendship. Everything he does is so selfish. It's so awful. When he shows up in LA and she lets him into the house, I can't even. He is just, if you meet a Jasper, run. Run away.
Agreed. Oh my God. I wanted to throat punch him. His character is... Listen, the funniest thing is I love Rufus Sewell. I cannot tell you how many English male actors I adore through the years of all the PBS series and everything else. But damn if he is not a dick in this movie. Oh my goodness. And let me tell you, and this is probably a little bit of just me and what I do for a living working with singles, but Iris, I think Kate Winslet is amazing. And I think she's great in this, and the fact that we're once again seeing or thinking that she's maybe a little mousy or not. Just, I don't even know what they're maybe trying to make us believe about Kate Winslet that doesn't feel like it matches at all because she looks beautiful in this.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to have a mild rant here. I want everybody, if you guys will, please let me have this rant. But in the beginning of it, when she's talking about love and Shakespeare saying like love is blind and love can be lost, and then she goes on to talk about the pain of unrequited love. And I actually looked online. I was so mildly bothered. We'll use the word bothered by the beginning of this. I found it, cut it, and pasted into our document because I want to comment and tell you what I don't agree with in this statement.
Oh, you
I
did.
may have
I
a
see
problem.
It.
Oh my God.
Kara. Oh my gosh. Okay, everybody, buckle up because I'm seeing what we're about to do and it's here.
Buckle up. But we're talking about this because I see it all the time. And I see people talking about it. I see it happening all the time. I see people struggling with it all the time. And there is almost a romantic thing that we attach to this idea of a crush or this idea of I'm in love with somebody and they're not in love with me. But she goes on to say, and then there's another kind of love, the cruelest kind, the one that almost kills its victims. Oh my God, Kate.
I know.
I mean, oh my God, Iris, like dramatic much. It's called unrequited love. Of that, I am an expert. Most love stories about people who fall in love with each other, but what about the rest of us? What about our stories? Those of us who fall in love alone. We are the victims of the one-sided affair. We are cursed. We are the cursed of the loved ones. And all because I've cursed of being in love with a man who does not and will not love me back. Oh God, just the sight of him, heart pounding, throat thickening, absolutely can't swallow, all of the usual symptoms. And let me tell you, as somebody who has had mad crushes, somebody who has been friend zoned by people I have cared deeply for over the years, I think that I was this level of a victim about it. And that's what I'm going to say. Because Iris, I was like, choices, consequences. She 100% participates in it. And I feel like this is one of the not as good love lessons because they make it feel like, look at what a dick this guy is being to her. He's totally a dick, by the way. 100 motherfucking percent, right? Manipulative, all of it. She is not stopping it, saying no. If she does set a boundary, she in no way sticks to it.
Enforces it.
Yes, in any way. And there is a point where we have to acknowledge our choices, where we're putting our time, where we're putting our energy, how much access that person still has to us. He is the type of actions that are happening where he's literally getting engaged in front of her after he just flirts with her and says he has a Christmas present with her and all of this, like, once again, throat punching. That's where I was at. I would probably cut him in a dark alley, Jasper, not Rick Bassoul. But we also have to look at our actions. And I see sometimes, not even just women, just people giving away years of their life.
She says 3 like years. This. Yeah.
Right? But
that's too long.
There has to be a point where we go, this person is not choosing me. I need to choose me and move the fuck on. So I'm glad she goes to LA. I'm glad. But I wonder if he wouldn't have got engaged, how much longer that would have gone on. Maybe indefinitely.
It does feel like it would have been indefinitely because even after the engagement and he continues to reach out and she continues to engage with his nonsense when he sends his writing without even a personal note, and she's going to sit down and read it, right? Talk about not maintaining that line that she drew in the sand for the two of them. Yeah, I think she would have gone on with this forever. And it's painful. Years of that. But also, I feel bad for his fiancée. Does she know? And it sounds like they kept it carefully platonic, right? But it's clearly crossing. If I was his fiancée, I would be upset to find out the girl he was dating, hooking up with, whatever he defined it as, that he had said he loved to, that he was still that close with, and having secret conversations when I'm not home.
None of that is okay.
No.
None of it's okay. He is inappropriate on every level. And I just, it's such a good character because I have so many feelings about him. But I did want to say quickly that what I would call that she had was a crush. I'm not going to say that she didn't have feelings for him. I'm not saying that there wasn't times where in the beginning, she probably did have moments where she loved him or felt that deep connection. But at this point, one person's giving and the other one's taking. And we have to really look at, that's an unhealthy relationship. That's not love. And to me, she had a crush, which I just found this little quote that I thought that was so good, which is a crush can be considered love adjacent.
I like that.
Because it involves feelings of attraction and desire towards some, which are key components of love, but often lack the depth, the commitment, and the understanding that typically characterizes a full-fledged romantic relationship. A crush is less intense, more superficial version of love. And I actually have that somewhere in my workshops that I do with people, but as somebody for a really long time, that was the immature version of me. Now that I'm in this long-term relationship with Danny and I see all the goods and the everything else's, I now realize that I was holding on to a story because that was the only way I felt comfortable with love. It took me a long time to realize that. And I hope that maybe somebody listening to this can realize they might be doing that too. That it's easier to create these stories in our mind.
And you have to wonder if that's what she's doing. No, if she's hanging on to something that's not being reciprocated, that has no chance, right? Is that to protect herself from moving on with somebody else and risking getting hurt? Is that because the fantasy of him is lovely to entertain and he's nice and he's there, right? Like it's serving some kind of purpose for her, but it's definitely holding her back. And I had this realization about her and Miles and how On the flip side, she is so respectful in that friendship to not cross boundaries. Miles is with Maggie and they have a wonderful friendship and it feels so safe and well boundaried. And then part of me was like, oh, it's because she's so used to that. She's so used to taking what she can get and not pushing for more and letting somebody be in another relationship and getting
Right.
whatever they can from her and that being fine. And that made me really sad for her. I almost wish she had pushed the boundaries of Miles because it would feel like she was taking up a little more space than she does.
Absolutely. And I do think that we see her like thriving in California. I love the idea that they both got up and made a change in their life. I think sometimes we can do that, or people need to do that to get a new perspective and a new, just another viewpoint of life. But I wish that this is probably so weird that I'm saying this, but hey, I wish that when we see Iris go back to her cottage before she leaves everything else and she's crying because Jasper has just gotten engaged in front of, I wish that I could have known what were her thoughts. I was actually like, is she mad at him? But I bet $10 she's mad at herself. That those tears are about, why did I keep doing that? Why did I trust this guy who is not trustworthy? Why did I hold on to something that clearly, I feel like she wasn't just crying over the loss of what she thought this was going to be, but also how she chose to keep showing up in something that wasn't reciprocated. And scene. Brant done. I just thought it was really important to talk about because I think we don't see it as much, but we love to show a crush in a rom-com, or we love to see the unrequited love and how bad Jasper is. But there is a moment where we have to go, why did I choose this? Why did I keep choosing it? Why did I accept it? And why didn't I walk away? We have to look at those things. It's not just one person.
And even if they had gotten together,
right,
that power imbalance is not a good start. 3 years of her pining after him and catering to him and loving him from afar, and of him not reciprocating. If they finally got together, that's going to be, I don't see that being a good relationship.
No, she is going to do 99% of the work emotionally, physically, and everything else in the house. Yeah. He's going to be a little superstar, and everybody's going to think he's dreamy and a great writer and everything else. And she's just going to become resentful and sad. Because for some reason, we love to think that as soon as somebody says, I love you, that things change and everybody's all of a sudden, all the power is normalized. And that doesn't happen. That would have been terrible for her.
Yeah.
That would have been terrible for her. That was the best gift he gave her, was probably getting engaged so that she could do some kind of movement to move forward. Yeah. I'm 100%. I mean, boy, we just really nailed like that shit right there, because we're both like, we really love it. But that's
except for this part.
And it's not even that though, because the lessons are good, the behavior is bad, but we can learn from it, right?
Yes.
I wanted to be able, but I didn't think that they then didn't turn around and make it that Jasper was a loving, good partner. No, he was an ass. He was an ass the whole entire time. And at some point, she figures it out. Yeah. But do I think that Iris will continue to have to work on her self-worth for even her to accept the love for Miles after she's just been in a completely one-sided relationship for 3 years? I do.
And that's going to be an interesting dynamic because she and Miles are both coming out of that situation where the other person is disengaged and better than and not giving as much as they're taking. Them now being together will be fascinating. Not that we'll be able to see it, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I
will say one last thing about Jasper, because gosh, for how little time he had on the screen. He
has an impact.
He has 4 minutes on the screen, for fuck's sake, and we have just made 20 minutes or more of this about him.
He deserves it.
He does deserve it. But the other thing I will say that is a great reminder for people might be like, why did he show up in California if he doesn't like her? Because he misses the attention. Don't confuse attention with intention. He wanted to make sure that she was still a little bit around his finger. He wanted to make sure that he still had
for help,
an editor for his writing. Exactly. Yep. That was 100% about him. That was nothing about her. So Anyway.
Oh, can I just say this? When he says, I wish you could just accept knowing how confused I am about all this. That was
my God.
throat punch
Oh my
moment.
God.
It's like,
I
get
know,
out
right?
of here.
Oh, the fact that he was like manipulatively
Acting.
making her feel bad, like
For
that
him.
all of this wasn't his choices. Oh, it's gross.
I'm texting his fiance. Okay, if
Yeah,
I'm
like, do
Iris,
you know? Yeah, 100%.
come get your man. He's in California.
And I don't want him here, so come get him.
Bye.
Right? Absolutely. So
Oh,
let's talk a little bit about Amanda and Graham, because that's an interesting situation. And to me, they played all of the parts of, not only is he show up drunk and cute in English at 1 a.m. and make
drunk and
outable,
cute in English. Stop it.
but then he's like a widower with 2 adorable daughters who love her right
know.
away in this big, huge tent and everything else. But I will say that as much as it's complicated, and it took Amanda a while to figure out how she could show up, and I think we see that, there is a moment where he decides to tell Amanda that he loves her. And
Yeah,
and it was really, and it was certainly a nice moment. I will say, too soon for me. But he also,
soon.
it was soon. And he did not set it up for success. What I wrote down here is Graham's I love you declaration to Amanda before she leaves could have been done a bunch better. Just meaning, because he actually says there's a pretty obvious response here. And if you're not saying it, I think that says everything. Dude, this has been 2 weeks.
Calm down.
This has
I
been
know, she's
2
avoidant.
weeks, right? She lives in another country. You have a couple
got
of
2
kids. Right. You're still potentially grieving your ex. Like, we don't really discuss that much or anything like that.
She also just got
Calm
out
your
of a
tits,
relationship
dude.
a day
Absolutely.
ago.
Literally a day ago. In my perfect world, the rewrite for that would have been, I find myself having a lot of feelings for you. I'm not sure where you're at. But I wanted to express that I really care, deeply about you. And I hope you received that. And,
Kira,
that's,
it's
oh
lovely.
my God, this is like what I'm fucking great
It's
at.
lovely.
But those are the small little ways that we take a situation that can feel scary or even like pressure filled for people,
loaded.
and instead make it about, because so many times when we express our emotions, it's for somebody to express it back. Be what it's
Especially
about.
with love. Especially with love. It feels like it has to be
Yes.
reciprocated. Otherwise, it's a failure. Everybody feels terrible.
And that's not really the way that love is or love works. So I just wanted to say that I think that we sometimes do that, where maybe we say, I love you, and the person doesn't say the exact same thing back yet. But I think that he could have expressed himself without the expectation that she's exactly where he is at that moment.
Yeah. I will say, it does feel soon, and I agree with your take. I'm just thinking back to how nerve-wracking it is when you realize you love someone and you want to tell them and you don't know if they're going to say it back, or then the game that women often play, which is, should I let them tell me first?
I hate that shit. To me, I'm actually a big believer that I wish we all said I love you a hell of a lot more and didn't make it such a stigma. But instead that we're not focusing so much on 3 words and focusing on actions, focusing on, is this building a relationship, focusing on, do we have shit actually in common, like values, and do we want the same things? To me, I love you, those 3 words are the smallest bit of what says a great relationship, right?
Find your soulmate, though. You don't need to do that other stuff, Kira. It just works.
Oh,
You didn't know this.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Damn, 16
Now you
years of
know.
this work, and now I know.
I know.
Thank you.
Wasted work. Yeah.
Sarcasm, everybody. Just translating, but
Don't
because that
believe it.
is what we're sold, right? Like that is what
you
we're
find the right
sold.
person.
Please share your thought here about Graham.
Okay, I have a lot of good things to say about him, but when I watched this movie this weekend and this hit me, I was like, oh no, this might ruin a lot of it for me. He takes Amanda and has sex with her in his sister's bed.
I mean, who does that?
Kira, many times.
I know.
It's a small house. It doesn't feel right to me. that happened.
It's like disrespectful and like he should honestly know better. He's her big brother, right?
He's got his own house.
And then call your sister and say, P.S. I might be
Sleeping with the woman
sleeping
staying
with
in your house.
yeah, and I hope that doesn't like come back on
Freak you
I
out.
mean, a lot of things could have gone bad here.
She could have killed her dog or something if Graham broke up with her. You don't know. I hope he washed those sheets. That's the bottom line for me.
I love
Talk
that we're
about
seeing
disrespect.
the very important details of this. But no, it is. It's totally weird. It's totally weird. I would have been like, maybe we have sex on the couch because it's weird to be having sex with my sisters, but I don't know. Right?
I get that he was drunk, and I get that, I don't know, they didn't have much opportunity because he has 2 kids who maybe were at the house where he lives. We don't know where his kids go when he's not with them, but it is funny to me that he like went from just hooking up, no commitment, no interest in finding a partner, and then it did feel a little soulmate-y. He finds and meets Amanda. It's kismet. She's so great. And then he's willing to engage in a real relationship for the first time in years since he lost his wife.
That's
and
real.
He picked someone who's hard to have a relationship with because she's fresh from a breakup and she's avoidant as fuck.
And lives
Which
8 hours away by airplane.
Oh,
so
then there's
besides
that.
that.
Workaholic.
Besides that.
Never available. Yeah. Then there's all that stuff.
But for 2 weeks, damn, it was good time, right?
It was
a
so
real
good.
time.
Frolicking around the countryside.
I like at one point when they decide to go on a real date. And it's obvious that Amanda is not that comfortable at it. I like that she says that. I actually tell my clients, if you're really nervous,
Own it.
own it. Be like, I'm a little nervous right now. If anything, that's just kind of
Endearing.
allows the other person to let you know if they're nervous. It's a real moment. And then if we stumble a little bit, they know why.
Yeah.
But I like that Amanda's a little nervous and they just talk through that nervousness together. And that's what creating even the tiniest bit of a relationship looks like when we are able to start talking through things together. Like he puts her a little bit at ease. He gives her like kind thoughts and feedback. So I loved how they just talked through that together.
Honestly, I feel close to Amanda because I feel our avoidant souls get each other. She's like an extreme of avoidance, right? Totally shut off her feelings.
Right.
Can't get close to people. The closer she gets, the more shut down she gets, and she withdraws and can't access her feelings or connect and attach. We see her struggle to attach to him. She clearly wants to, but there's a lot of hesitance. But she breaks through that, and I will say we see her do that work. Right. She shows up at his house. That was big for her to put herself out there. When she sees he has kids, she doesn't just do the dramatic rom-com thing, which is forget you and run away.
Right, like, why didn't you tell me?
How could you? She acts like a real human, and she stays there, but then she says, wait, are you married? What's happening? And gets information, and then she participates in that evening in a really lovely way. And she's boundaried. She's like wonderful with the kids, but she like obviously is entering a dynamic that she had no idea about and she is a stranger in. And I thought she handled all of those things really beautifully and then talked about it after. And I was like, she's doing it. She's not avoiding the hard things. She's diving in. Loved it.
Yeah, I just totally agree. I have nothing more to fucking say about it. I will finally say the last thing is that I just think that Jack Black is amazing in this. I think Miles' character is adorable. I think he is a walking green flag overall, except his choices in women, meaning Maggie. But I loved him in this. I loved him in it at the time because it was such a different
role for him.
For sure. And he actually said closer to the time that this was one of his favorite roles that he ever did, because I think he just got to show so much more than just him being goofy. And silly and tenacious D. But I loved him in this, and I want there to be more Mileses and Jack Black characters.
I agree. Although when he left that sushi date and was going to maybe not make it to Arthur's celebration.
Agreed.
I was like, that is
to go talk to Maggie. Yeah.
I can understand the impulse, but like, do it tomorrow.
Right? Like, why does she demand that attention at that time? She literally just cheated on you. She didn't tell you. You actually found out only because she was like walking by.
And now you're going to her place.
And ditching the friend date. I mean, even if nothing ever happens between him and Iris, just disrespectful, right?
As a friend.
And then she's
I
just
know.
like, oh, I
I'll
mean,
pay
he's
for
like,
it.
oh, I'll pay for it. And he said, you didn't even get your spicy tuna yet, which is my favorite. And,
But this is
and then she's
Iris.
just like, oh no, and it's okay. And I'm like, no, Iris, it's not okay. It's not okay for people to up and leave and run and go talk to their, I mean, they were only together 5 months, I think. So it wasn't even that long. Like, that's actually not okay. And you guys had plans to go to Arthur's thing.
He has the music for it. It's not just like nice if he would be there. He has to be there.
I'm so frustrated by how much we tell people to prioritize romantic relationships over friendships, when friendships are going to be one of the things that we need. I think everybody needs a little bit of a village, and that should be really important in your life too, especially if you're not even sure what's happening with the person that you've been dating or whatever.
Yeah, but you know what it brings up for me though?
Talk to me.
Is how urgent and how life or death romantic relationship things feel. And how people, when they're in a fight with their loved one, they like can't put it on pause and focus on something else and be with their friend or go to work because it's all consuming. And it feels if you don't repair this attachment wound immediately, this rupture is just going to continue forever and your relationship's going to be over. It's so hard to take a breath.
Is that neuroscience or is that conditioning or is it both? What do you think?
It's probably both. It's
That's
probably
what I would say too.
Fight or flight kicking in and feeling like you've got to do something immediately, right? To survive the moment. But also, we definitely condition people to fix things, to not be able to.
Particularly women, to not even be able to function as a human until you know that your partner's not going to leave you.
Okay.
I just, I mean,
That's
for
one of the nice
sure.
things of marriage is you know that they can't leave you that easily. So, Lucas and I get in a fight. It's like, all right, bye. I have a great day at work. What's he going to do? You can't get divorce documents in a day, Kira.
Oh my goodness gracious. The last thing I will say that I think was the worst love lesson is there's a moment when Graham and Amanda first meet and they're kissing and she says foreplay is overrated. That is the worst love lessons because foreplay is not overrated, everybody. Get your girls those orgasms. Get them. Get them. Not overrated at all. And that just makes me know that she has had shitty partners in the past.
Yes. She was living in a man's sexual world, right? Yes. But whatever she was doing was to make them happy. And if they didn't like what she was doing, she was a bad sexual partner. None of it's focused on her pleasure and her experience at all. But she's also just like maladaptively efficient with everything she does. So she needs to learn how to slow down, enjoy herself just a little bit.
That's true. That's absolutely true. But I was like, let's not teach that lesson. Let's not teach
Jude, you know better. We can see it in your eyes. Don't listen.
I know, because he's like, I like you even more by the minute. I was like, don't like her that much. Get the foreplay done. Come on, Graham. Get it done. What about some favorite moments and quotes? There's a lot, right? There's a lot.
Oh, okay. This is, I think, my favorite one. Although I don't know how I feel about the messaging necessarily. But I love when Arthur tells Iris, there are leading ladies and there are best friends. You're a leading lady, but you're acting like a best friend. And I like that message for everyone to take of you are the leading lady, leading gentleman, leading person of your own life and to not sideline yourself. And do you prioritize yourself for everybody else, even romantic partners, but to see this as your story that you have control over and you should be living fully. That part of the message I like.
Agreed. And the fact that she has a huge hand in writing that story and how it goes. Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes we really believe just love happens to us and we don't have much control over it, but that's not true at all. The only thing I have to say, because when I heard that and I'd already looked at your notes and I was like, but why do we have to put down the best friend?
That's what I don't like about it. I know.
But why? And this is true of everything. Why can we only feel good if one other person or if another is less than us, right? Like, I'm really bummed in our society that we feel good when, that's not
It's a bummer.
helpful,
I
right?
know.
It's just not helpful because that best friend should get love too. And
She's a leading lady of her own life.
own life,
Yeah.
yes. I fully
Mhm.
get it. That's just
But
as
I
somebody
know.
who
It's like
is a
sidekick.
plus size person, and for so long there wasn't even like options that a plus size person was going to get the
Yeah.
get the guy or get anything else. So anyway, I love that whole phone scenario because that's probably what
Oh
would have
my
happened to
God.
me, where she's talking to Amanda and then she knows her brother well enough to put two and two together to be like, oh, this
You
fucker
slept with a woman.
slept with, yes, exactly. And then it's like that phone debacle. I just think that is such a
That was
funny
so good.
moment. And just, yeah, it felt like old Hollywood a little bit. I love the nod to old Hollywood. I love the nod. Arthur and his friends and talking about Cary Grant and Irene Dunn and all of the things because of Hollywood. I love Cary Grant. I love all of it. So that to me also just pulled this together
Fun.
really.
Yeah. I really like the scene where Amanda's in the car and she's driving to the airport to leave and she starts crying and she's so happy about it. She's laughing and the look on the driver's face, for some reason, I just love this is really some weird stuff happening in my car. For whatever reason, I just liked that. People do not know why we're feeling certain ways and think that we're totally bizarre. I like that she
Or
didn't
insane. Yeah.
care. Yeah.
I agree. Any favorite characters? For me, it's most of them. Besides Jasper, obviously, and
Jasper,
Maggie's
if you're
a big
listening to
stinker.
Maggie doesn't bother me so much. I don't know. I
I
can
mean,
imagine
honestly, she has such a
being her.
small role in this, right?
We
She has
can't
such
really
a small
know.
role. Yeah.
But I can imagine feeling like Miles is like suffocating her with like his adoration and being like, that's not a fun dynamic either when
Right.
it feels that uneven. But anyway, I put down Miles. I love Miles. He's so funny. He's so fun. Singing in the movie store.
Yes.
Getting the two different coffees and letting her pick. He's just
Yes.
lovely.
He really is. No, like I said, he's a walking green flag. He really is. I really enjoyed most of the characters. I think they all had pros and cons.
Merit.
It just came across as pretty real, and I enjoyed it. I would love to tell you some trivia if you're up for it.
I would love to hear it.
That's fantastic. There was some good trivia because this, of course, is 18 years old. What are you
Oh my
laughing
God.
about?
Just the way you said, that's fantastic.
That's fantastic. I'm crazy. First of all, so this is written once again by Nancy Meyers. She also directed it. She has done other movies such as It's Complicated and am I going to like actually come up with these for right now? Father of the Bride, Baby Boom, an 80s classic for me. I think that was her first
Baby
movie.
Boom?
Have you ever seen it?
No. I've seen Father of the Bride, but not Baby
Diane
Boom.
Keaton, so good. We might have to watch that for a classic rewatch. It's so good. But this was actually written. These are the four people she had in mind. So it was literally written for Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, and Jack Black. She wrote them
Whoa.
into these characters, and they all said yes.
Well, that was
Which
fortuitous.
I think happens
for us,
never,
for
right?
the world. Yeah.
But she had already. Oh, she even did the new Parent Trap. So she had already been pretty established. And they felt probably pretty safe with the script and everything.
Yeah.
Also, Kate Winslet and Rufus Sewell, so Jasper, they dated in real life at some point. So I wonder how that was. They dated in the 90s when
Before
and, like,
this.
yes,
Oh,
yeah, like 10 years before this.
That's juicy. So he really was
Yes.
a former flame in her life.
Absolutely. I always wonder what that's like on set, right? Like I always wonder, is that, oh, no big deal,
you are.
or this is awkward. And then a few months after the movie came out, the popularity of house swapping was was on the rise, so much so, in fact, the police of England had to issue a warning against swapping home with strangers due to identity fraud and murders.
Murders? Oh my God. Kira, what?
I don't know. I have no more information. That's from IMDb. It's not even, but that's what it said. I could maybe, right?
It doesn't shock me, though. If you open up your house to a stranger on the internet, we wouldn't recommend that.
I doubt there was probably more than one murder, although it says murders here, so I don't know. And she wrote the role of Miles for Jack Black after seeing him in School of Rock. So I think that that's interesting that that's who she
saw
created from watching. And then, as I mentioned, Cameron Diaz claims that this movie is her most physical due to all the running she had to do. And when Iris is watching a movie in Amanda's house, the movie she's watching is His Girl Friday, which is a favorite of mine. And I love Cary Grant. He is my favorite.
That was for you. Nancy wrote that in for you.
Yes, obviously. And then in an interview on The Tonight Show, Kate Winslet revealed that this movie she is more recognized for than Titanic. People come up to her on the street more for The Holiday than Titanic, which I thought was super interesting. But I get it because I don't know a person who doesn't love this movie. I have never met a person. I did read some grumpy people writing about it online, as I always do, especially with stuff that's now 15, 20 years old. But some people are like, Kate Winslet or like the Miles and Iris characters didn't have any chemistry. But I think that's because
they were friends.
We're friends first, and we don't get to see that much, right? Yes. It's usually like this intense passion, and then we think if it's not that. But I think that I loved them together in this, and I thought it was so sweet. Out of the two situations, it's going to take a while for them to fall into this, but I think that they have a much better chance of surviving.
And that's what I like, though, is like juxtaposing those two ways of finding someone and finding love, right? That there is no one entry point. It could be a spontaneous one-night stand that turns into something more complicated. It could be friendship that develops into love. And I thought that was a nice message, actually. So that grumpy old man, you know what? I'll write him separately outside of the podcast. Don't worry about it.
Good. I think it was a woman, but yes.
Well,
get on it.
They've got it coming.
Any rewrites or alternate endings?
Listen, and I'm going to read exactly what I wrote because I'm in a precarious emotional place this fall. So I said, for my peace of mind, I would love to see where the couples settle so that I could know that they make it. That would be good for me emotionally, personally. Otherwise, I like the ending. I like just seeing them come together and imagining them forging ahead. Would you change it?
Creating this new little family. No, I wouldn't. I always like when we get a little bit of a future shot. I love at the end of Notting Hill where they're in that park and her head's on his lap and she's pregnant. Like, I love that moment. I love when they give us that like little future moment. I did here, but I think we're supposed to think it's maybe in just a couple of weeks or something like that. But yeah, no, I thought it's such a good ending. And I agree. I'm like hardcore. There's TV shows that I won't watch past a certain thing because the two people I want to be together aren't.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Gotta preserve. Yeah.
There's things that feel safe in my brain and things that don't.
Can't add in.
And it's still pretty rough right now out here. But would they last, do you think?
What? Do you think they would, Kira? I'm so biased about
I want to believe it. I want to believe that they would. There's just obviously a ton of things they have to figure out. Two people live in a foreign country. But luckily, they all seem to kind of have, like, potentially Amanda could move to England. Yeah, because I mean, there's kids there, right?
Yeah.
And, I feel like Iris was thriving in LA, so she should probably stay there, right? She seems to have a much better life than going back to England. But
That's
they have a lot of things to figure out. I mean, is Amanda going to be a stepmom? I mean, that's a big role.
Question. I know, and they should slow it down before she's there all the time with his kids. That was one thing where I was like, this is a fast, intense introduction for his children.
100%.
Who might get attached to her, and then if she doesn't stick around, here nor there. Yeah. Maybe a permanent house swap is what you're suggesting, and then everything would work out, and that sounds good to me. So let's just say that's exactly what happens.
Okay, that's what happens. Everybody buy into it and make us feel good.
This is about us.
What are our ratings? I will tell you what, I will give normal ratings first. I gave it a 5. Because I just love it. And it was like, I actually wasn't expecting to give it a 5, but I thoroughly enjoyed it again. I wanted everybody to make out at the end. It all works for me. The love lessons, I put a 4 because I thought they was still probably pretty good. Everybody does better, healthier things to get
Over
towards
10.
the end. So that's always what I'm trying to see. What was your score, Isabel?
Listen, I gave it a 10 and I don't take it back. I regret nothing.
Just so everybody knows, our score is out of 5. Just so we're aware. So you take it. I'm going to give it 10 tacos.
That good.
10 tacos.
10 tacos. And I gave it a 5 love lessons. I had a hard time seeing anything wrong with this movie. Best love lessons, best movie ever.
I love it.
Nothing wrong.
I love it. I love this movie. I love you. I love Kate Winslet. I love Jack Black. I love Jude Law. He may be my number 1 of all time rom-com male lead.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
we should do it.
Fault you there.
Everybody, should we do an episode on our number
Jude
1, like
Law.
our top 5 female leads and top, just what we prefer?
Oh, I like that.
But I think, Jude Law he's up there.
It's going to be up
me.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And you, I mean, Glenn Powell, too.
Oh, shit. This just got hard when I start thinking about it, right? When I start thinking about
That's what he
old
said.
school, new, oh my goodness. What did you just say? Oh, shit. I hope you guys notice that we're having a hell of a lot more fun with this podcast. I told her next week we should maybe get some boozy eggnog and drink while we're recording. So, guys, that's it for today, right?
Yeah. If you liked this, subscribe or follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
And if you loved it, and I hope that you did, or we both hoped that you did, please leave a review. Just those stars. Doesn't matter. You don't have to write anything. It sure helps get the word out. All of that stuff. I originally went into this holiday season let's do like the holiday classics. But no, guys, this was probably the creme de la creme of the holiday movies we watched. And it's all going to get a little Hallmark crazy at this point.
Create your own happily ever after and be a leading lady with gumption.
Fuck yeah. Moxie. Riz.
Moxie, baby. Riz.